Hello, we are doing the daily devotion from John MacArthur, and it is from his book Drawing Near, and it does the entire Bible in a year by devotions. And yes, I'm in the pool doing this today because I had to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. My dog needed to exercise, and I wanted to do the daily devotion. So here we go. Okay, today it is attacks on God's character. Stand firm against the schemes of the devil, Ephesians 6:11. One of Satan's most effective tactics is to challenge God's credibility. Paul's exhortation to stand firm against the schemes of the devil, Ephesians 6:11, refers to the various tactics Satan employs in spiritual warfare. One of his tactics is to call God's character and motives into question by raising doubt about his word. He used that approach in the Garden of Eden when he said to Eve, "Indeed, has God said, you shall not eat from the tree of the garden." Genesis 3:1. In one brief statement, Satan disputed the distorted God's word. God didn't forbid them to eat from any tree. They could eat freely from every tree except one, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Ephesians 2:16 and 17. Satan followed his distortion with an outright denial of God's word. You surely shall not die. 3:4. He implied that God lied when he said sin would result in death. Satan then went on to tell Eve that if she ate the fruit, she would in fact become like God himself. Verse 5. The implication is that God was withholding something good from Eve, and to keep her from seeking it, he had intimidated her with empty threats of death and judgment. Do you see the insidious nature of Satan's approach? Tragically, Eve didn't. Rather than trusting and obeying God, she believed Satan's lies and concluded that the tree was good for food, a delight to the eyes, and desirable to make one wise. Then she took from its fruit and ate. Verse 6. Satan deceives and spreads his lies from generation to generation. 2 Corinthians 11:14. Although he is subtle, his attempts to discredit God by disputing, distorting, and denying his word should be obvious to discerning Christians. Don't be victimized by Satan's attacks. Become strong in the word through systemic Bible study. Yield to the Spirit's control through prayer and obedience to biblical principles. Okay. Suggestions for prayer. Ask God for the discernment to recognize Satan's deceptions and for the wisdom to pursue truth. Pray for God's enabling as you discipline yourself for diligent Bible study. How appropriate. For further study, read 1 John 2:12 through 14. How did John describe those who are strong in the word? Okay, don't forget to do the for further study and the suggestions for prayer down in the description below. I'll have it written in there. Okay, thank you for being here, and may God bless you greatly.